Hello gentle folk, gentle beasts and all creatures in between. I'm Traversing the Dark, and I'll be your guide through the world of dark fantasy and science fiction. Welcome back to my Masters of Darkness series, where I'll be looking at some of the key writers, books, films and video games that take a walk on the darker side of these often underappreciated genres. Today, I'm looking at dystopian sci-fi anime series known for its brutal content, psychological themes, ethical dilemmas, and captivating villain. My argument today is a simple one. Psycho Pass's main antagonist, the charismatic Shogo Makishima, is one of the best written villains in anime history. This kind of character-focused study necessitates that I look at the character in question holistically, so I'm including a spoiler tag for this one. Everything after this timestamp is spoiler territory, but I encourage everyone to watch Psycho Pass, even if you're not an anime fan. It's not just a masterpiece of an anime, it's also just a really great, thought-provoking show. Just don't watch past season 1. To set the scene for the series, in the future world of Psycho Pass, the all-powerful Sibyl system reads your thoughts, emotions, and ambitions. It determines the perfect job for you based on your personality characteristics like level of agreeableness, leadership potential, and social awareness. It also functions as a kind of police state, a system that can read your thoughts and psychological profile, or psychopass, which it uses to determine your potential to commit crimes before you've even thought of them, and send its law enforcement agents after you. In this world, the Orwellian concept of thought crime is taken literally, and the punishment is severe. Enter series' main antagonist, Shogo Makishima, a charismatic, cold-blooded killer whose main goal in the series is the destruction of the Sibyl system. Makishima is interesting because he himself doesn't actually cause any direct damage in most of the series. His speciality is to give creative people who feel stifled by the Sibyl system the tools they need to enact vengeance against it, seemingly doing so just to see the system begin to burn. In Psycho Pass, we are introduced to a dystopian world where the Sibyl system rules, even though, to the inhabitants of this world, the unthinking regime the Sibyl system creates is like a kind of utopia. After all, you don't have to worry about finding a job that's right for you, or friends that suit your tastes. The Sibyl system takes care of all of that for you. No matter who you are recognised in this society, whether it be as a blatant criminal or an outstanding cog in the machine. And then there's Makishima. Not only is Makishima abandoned by his peers and family, he's abandoned by the one thing that promises to make him an individual. Makishima is one of the exceptional individuals in the society who the Sibyl system cannot read. It can't create a psychological profile on him. He's like a glitch in the system, something that shouldn't exist. In a society where everyone is recognised and he is left out, he is considered nothing by everyone and everything, an anomaly, an error, and this is what leads to Makishima's rage about the world the Sibyl system has created. A world where no one is seen as special. A world where difference from the social norm isn't just detested, but labelled as deviant. Everyone is alone. Everyone is empty. People no longer have need of others. You can always find a spare for any talent. Any relationship can be replaced. I had gotten bored of a world like that. Think upon the relevance this quotation has even in our contemporary world, with social media like Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook and Twitter, meaning that getting rid of people you don't like and replacing them is not only a simple process, but actively encouraged. A world where the creation of internet echo chambers becomes more and more the norm, where apps like Tinder and Bumble promote the narcissistic judgment and repudiation of hundreds of thousands of people daily, and reminds even those in relationships that, really, their current partner could be replaced with nothing more than a simple swipe of their finger. Makishima's favourite book, we're told, is Do Androids Dream of Electric Sheep by Philip K. Dick. Most people know This is its movie adaptation, Blade Runner. Do Androids Dream is a book that is concerned explicitly with the distinctions between what is real and what is not, reality and socially constructed fantasy, as are all of Philip K. Dick's works of science fiction. This is perfect as a symbol for Makishima as a character, and gives us insights into his mindset as a villain. Like the protagonist of Do Androids Dream, Rick Decker, Makishima is tossed into a world where only collective happiness is valued, and any deviation from such mind-numbing hedonism is seen as dangerous, heretical, and therefore worth suppression. Before you say it, yes, this is indeed the same premise of Disney's Inside Out, that there are other emotions beside happiness that we have to be allowed to feel in order to be human. Am I suggesting that Inside Out ripped off Psycho-Pass? You know what? You can make your own deranged video essay on that one. Makishima doesn't inherently hate the civil system. He hates that it won't recognise him. He can say that it leads to a brain-dead society, sure, but within him, and through a deeper study of his character, we know there's something more personal driving his wish to see the system burn. Makishima is not a particularly creative or talented individual, but he is someone who understands what it feels like to be truly alone in the world. That's why the people he engages with in the show are transgressive artists, hunters, specialist computer hackers or gamers. All of them have two things in common: niche, creative interests, and potential unrecognised by the civil system, or recognised as deviant and abnormal, and their total isolation as a result of such categorisation. All Makishima ever desired was to be noticed, and the only way he could do so was through the utility of murder and crime, or by influencing those most vulnerable in society to commit such acts in his name. Again, we can draw parallels with cult leaders throughout history, whose impetus for the creation of a new group identity with them as its focal point is centred around a foundational desire at the heart of themselves, a need to be recognised, to be special. And who does Makishima find through his crimes? Well, Mr. Kogami, of course, the law enforcer that is tracking him down throughout the series, the only man who realises that behind the seemingly random acts of violence being perpetrated throughout each episode, there is a mastermind pulling the strings. This also makes him the only person who has ever noticed Makishima's existence. Makishima doesn't hate Kogami, quite the opposite. He respects and needs him. Not in the way Batman needs the Joker, a la The Dark Knight, the way order and chaos must be balanced in a healthy society. It's more personal than that. Makishima never drops his smile when he meets or engages with Kogami. During their first fight scene, his deranged smile is genuine, and one of the only times we ever see him smile so fully in the whole series. This is because he has genuinely found in Kogami someone who acknowledges him for who he is, someone who is worth paying attention to, and someone who can think like he does. So although we as the audience all root for law enforcement officers Kogami and his partner Tsunemori to finally catch Makishima, I think in the end Makishima wishes the same thing, and that's why at the end of the series Makishima asks Kogami this simple question.
Tell me, what do you think, Kogami? Once this is done, will you find a replacement for me?
I don't know. I sure as hell hope not.
Note the genuine smile on Makishima's face just before Kogami pulls the trigger. Why is he happy? Because he's found someone who, in a twisted sense, recognises him as irreplaceable. At the very least, Kogami would rather not meet another man like this. And in the end, that's all Makishima really wanted. Thank you for watching the Scottish Falcon Mage talk about a world of brutality, ethical dilemmas, and an interesting, morally complex villain. If you enjoyed what you saw here, consider subscribing for more content like this, or come and join the Discord to hang out with more enjoyers of dark fantasy and science fiction. If you have been enjoying the Masters of Darkness or Corrupted Commentary series, let me know below. Have you seen Psycho-Pass? Do you agree with my perception of Makishima? Or do you think that there's more going on? There's definitely more that I could say about this series, but I felt that, first and foremost, I had to get my thoughts on its major villain out of the way. As usual, make sure to check under your bed.
Evil grows in the dark, where the sun it never shines.